We're going to work on kind of a basic domain and range question. State the domain and range for each relation, is the relation a function, and explain. So a key thing we do want to remember is that domain is going to be your x values, it's the input into the function, and range is going to be your y values, the output for the relation. And I guess we don't know if it's a function yet, we're going to talk about that. So as we look at our ordered pairs, you know we have an x and a y with every ordered pair. So to find the domain, we're just going to pick out all of the x values. So 2 is part of our domain, that's an input. 3 is part of our domain, 5 is part of our domain, and 0 is part of our domain. So we can just go ahead and list those off, but let's go ahead and list them in order from least to greatest. So the smallest domain value we have is 0. So we're going to say our domain is equal to, we have 0, and then 2, 3, 5. Now our range is going to be all the y values. So we can see we have an out, and the range is the output value. So we have a value of 4, 1, -2, 4. All right, did you guys notice that we did have 2 output y values repeat? We don't need to write that down twice when we list out our range, but we will go with the smallest one. So -2 was our smallest y value. And then we had a 1, and then we had the 4 and the 4, and we'll just write the 4 once. All right, so there's our domain, there's our range. I feel like that's looking a little sloppy, but hopefully you guys are still with me. Now, is the relation a function? So remember, to tell if it's a function, from our intro video, we saw that you really have to focus on the x values. If x values repeat, that's bad, not a function. If x values do not repeat, then it is a function. So let's look at our x values. We had a 2, a 3, a 5, and a 0. Those are all different x values. So that means that's a good thing that yes, it is a function. Now to explain, how do we say that? All you have to say is no repeating x values. And do we have to actually explain and write that out? Yeah, we do. On your test, you'll have to, so let's just kind of get in the practice of that. All right, find the domain and range of this next relation. So, like before, you have your x's and your y's, so your x's are your input values. That's all part of your domain. So we have a -4, a 3, a -4, and a 5. So the smallest number is -4. I can see that we had 2 of them. We're only going to write it once. And then next would be the 3 and the 5. Our range are going to be all the y values. We have a 2, a 1, a 0, and a 5. Starting with the smallest, which is 0, and then 1, 2, 5. So your range is your y values, output. The domain is your x values, the input. Now, is the relation a function? So what do we look at again for that? Our x values. So if I look at the x values that I listed, I don't have any x values repeating, but that's intentional. We don't write the x values twice when we write out our domain. So let's go back to the original relation. We have a -4, a 3, a -4, and a 5. And we probably noticed in the beginning that we did have 2 -4s. So if your x values repeat, that is not a function. And then we have to explain our answer, so we'll just say x values repeat.